Welcome everyone, Joe with ECRM here at our school and office session in Chicago. And with me is Jen from C-Line Products, who I've known for a long time. She's been coming forever and was actually one of my first video interviews that I ever did. So thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
Now, you have a beautiful setup here.
Thank you.
With a lot of products.
Lots of color.
Yes, lots of color. Everyone keeps stopping and peeking into the room when they walk by. Can you take everybody through the overview of the company and the products that you have?
Absolutely. Well, thank you. It's great to be with you again. This is my 22nd ECRM session, so long time coming. It's a great venue, great platform to connect buyers and sellers. C-Line, we've been in business for 76 years. We are a family-owned, privately held business based here in Chicago. We specialize in all things school and office, so this is obviously our biggest event of the year. And we have, over 1,000 items in our line, all within storage, organization, identification products. So things that you need to keep yourself organized throughout the day. Our tagline is inspiring organization since 1949. It's something we're very proud of, and we have a lot to offer at the show.
So what are some of the overall trends you're seeing in the school and office category?
Yes, definitely. Well, I'd say first from a color perspective, we're seeing a lot of pastel hues. They're kind of warm, they make you feel good, they evoke a certain sense of emotion. We're also seeing a big trend towards dry erase products. So not just our dry erase pockets that we've been selling for decades now, but also different kinds of shapes that you can put on the walls, on the floors, on doors to really motivate children to learn within the classroom. So those are probably the biggest trends, plus a lot of desktop accessory items to really kind of declutter your workspace, whether it's through a desk pad to protect your surface, or organizational items that sit atop your desk for your pens, your paper clips, to keep you organized.
Well, I know personally I saw a lot of things that would be helpful for me. I'm a big fan of the dry erase boards. In fact, in my home office, I have two massive ones, one on each wall. But the ones that I saw in your setup were really cool. So the different designs.
Absolutely.
And I'm more of just a white board kind of guy, but
we're gonna get you some color.
The colors were really cool. I did like the clipboards that you had. You guys know that I'm a very big fan of clipboards, so they have some clipboards that can actually store the paper I need. And then desk organization is something I really need help with.
Yes.
I'm horrible at it. I just let everything pile up, and then I'm going to tap into some of those as well.
Definitely. Well, you're in the right spot. Organization is our thing.
So with all of those products that you have, when you go into a buyer meeting, right? You said you had like over 1,000 products.
Over 1,000 items.
All right,
yep.
so you go into a buyer meeting, even though you're doing the 20-minute meetings, you can't throw everything at the buyer.
Nope.
How do you kind of narrow the scope of your focus for each of the buyer meetings you have?
Yeah, definitely. I think, we've been coming here for decades now, over a decade. And for us, I think the biggest thing is preparation. I can't emphasize enough. So depending on who you're meeting with, know who they are, know what their interests are. Certainly you want to ask questions when they're in the room, but you need to do your homework, right? You need to know, are they a retailer? Do they own a store? Are they a cataloger? Are they a prepackaged school supply company? Who is the target that they're ultimately going after? And that certainly helps prepare for the meetings. When they walk in the room, you want to ask how their year was. You want to talk to them a little bit more about what their goals are and strategy for the upcoming year. But then you can really target your sales pitch or your strategy, your presentation, to their specific needs. I think we've had a lot of success. If it's a retailer, they might want items that come in PDQs or displays. If it's a school kit company, they may want bulk items. So you can really tailor your presentation to their specific needs, but it really does start with preparation.
So now you want to be focused, but you want to let them see everything. Sure. Now, you do that a lot through your room setup too. And what was the, inspiration behind this setup that you have today?
That's a great question, because this is, so far my most exciting setup that we've done yet here. What we've done is we've shown not only our core basic items, so everything that a student or a teacher needs to go back to school, all set up in nice retail displays. but we've also then put a lot of those products in use. So we've created lots of different stations, if you will, or environments, so you can see how somebody would use and or sell one of our folders or our expanding files. So it's really a nice setup in that way. But then right in the focus of the room, in the center of the room, the focus is all of our new items. So we really want the customers to walk in and be wowed. We use a lot of color, we use a lot of signage. For us, it's really important that they're kind of leaving our room feeling informed, right? And with a better sense of how can we work with C-Line? You know, they're a really great company, so.
I think one additional thing that it does, right, because you during a meeting, you have to focus a little bit, but I think what it also does is it opens up opportunities for other things that maybe you weren't focusing on, that maybe the buyer wasn't focusing on, but then they see something and they're like, you know what, I know we're talking about this now, but that thing over there is really cool.
And you absolutely want to provide time for them to explore the room on their own. Let them lead. If they decide that they want to get up and walk the room, by all means, I go and I follow with my clipboard, my legal pad. But a lot of times they'll just come in and want to sit down right at the table and have an informal conversation that way. So I think letting the buyer who's coming to your meeting kind of help navigate a little, help you with your meeting is also quite important.
How do you break up the 20 minutes? You know, how much presentation, how much Q&A? Are you a slide person, a numbers person?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love slides. PowerPoint is like my jam, but no, not for this meeting. I certainly, if it's an existing customers that we work with, then I think it's really important to start by thanking them, right, for their business and giving a quick overview how our year was, our partnership year. So that's important. Maybe highlight some categories that are up or down or items that they've recently picked up in their assortment and how they're performing. So that's how I like to start. And then asking them a little bit more about their year, like I said, what their strategies are, their goal, et cetera, and then taking them through our room, right? And helping them, I guess, see really all that we have to offer. If it's a new company, a prospect that we have not yet met with, for me, it's really important to give an overview of C-Line. The fact that we've been around for over 75 years, that we're a family-owned company, it really does resonate with people. So I really like to lead with that. And then, of course, our breadth of offering. When you step into our room, we kind of want you to be transformed, right, into either a retail store and just to really see the breadth of product that we have, the color, like I said, the signage. I think it's really, really important.
Well, I think I love the way you tailor it, depending on whether they're new or whether they're regular, you know, returning customers, existing customers, and yeah, the room. It's just, I mentioned to them before, I was sitting waiting for their meeting to end, and I'm watching people walk by, and they're walking by, but their heads keep turning and looking at the room, and so really did an amazing job with that. Now, you guys have had some a lot of wins over the years. I'm curious, what were the time frames? Like, how long did it take from the time you met with them to the time the products got on the shelves? And what was the follow-up that was involved? Like, did you have to meet with them a bunch of more times? You know, what are the lengths?
Yeah, so we use ECRM as a way to connect, right, with these buyers, and our goal is always to leave with some kind of action step, right, an action item that we need to follow up on. And sometimes those wins take a little bit longer to mature. I can tell you there's one in particular, it's probably our biggest win to date, and I'm not going to name names, but it probably took about 4 years of back and forth, but we saw them every year, and we proved ourselves. They knew that we weren't, you know, that we're here for the long haul, right? So some of leads take that long, right, to turn into action. Others can be quick wins, right? Especially if people are looking for replenishment product, right? We have worked with a lot of these major retailers that are coming here and they're saying, gosh, we under forecasted on our whatever folders, our notebooks, our paper products. C-Line, can you help? And the answer is yes. I mean, we stock product all year round. As Joe mentioned, over 1,000 products. So those wins are quick and meaningful, right? Awesome. They can really, really impact your year.
Cool. Awesome. Well, last thing. What are some recommendations that you would have for a new brand, someone coming to their first ECRM?
Yeah, definitely. So I think for a new brand, I would actually start with the innovation pipeline. Sit down, and those are the 10-minute meetings, and we did start that way. And I think those are great, right? It gives you a flavor for what this is all about, this speed dating of business. So I would recommend that. Certainly bring your key products, right? Bring your power products that you're known for. I think signage is key. I think colors, anything to really like kind of wow the buyers, like, and certainly be prepared. I can't emphasize that enough. My team knows that we better know everybody walking in, what the company is, who they sell to, are they a retailer, are they a cataloger, what is their business, who is the individual we're meeting with. We have all of our accounts divided up based on geography in our business. So whomever's coming in, I know if it's my account that I'm calling on or if it's one of my colleagues. And like I said, be prepared. That's the biggest thing.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun.